Hey everybody, I wanted to just show you guys something. On one of my last videos, one of the viewers pointed something out to me that needs to be corrected on the car. So I'm going to take the camera off right now, off the stand, and show it to you all of what I'm talking about. All right, so if you look on the cowl there, you see how it's all painted black. And then you look on the bottom channel there where the windshield's going to lay in, and you see how it's masked off and it's red there. Now, that little corner section there needs to be black. The black needs to continue because that bottom area there is going to be exposed a little bit when the dash is installed. Another thing that was shown to me as well is this little piece right here needs to be black as well. So I'm going to send the car back out to have this corrected. So another thing I wanted to share with you all is on my last video I was pretty upset on buying this part off of eBay and with the ends being broken off on it. So I actually reached out to the seller, and it was a mistake on their part. They didn't realize it either. So we're able to basically negotiate a partial refund. So it's better than nothing, but I'm fine with that. So I'm on the search for another one of these. I have seen a couple out there, but the problem that I'm running into is these screw holes. Maybe if I turn this around. These screw holes are, oh, you see how that's broken there? Most of these, the screw holes are broken. So I'm trying to find one that's in pretty much mint condition. So it might take me a little while. And that's okay, because the next step, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and work on restoring the dash. Okay, so I picked this dash up last year. This dash came out of a Chevelle. And which it's literally the same dash. The only difference is this is going to have the burl wood overlay that inserts here. And you know, I had actually bought a brand new one that, you know, basically a reproduction. But the problem with that I realized right away is that burl wood insert would not fit in. So so I have that in the box, and you know, I'm not going to use it. And with this, even when I got this, right, this didn't have the burl wood insert because it came out of a Chevelle. But when I brought it home, I put in my burl wood insert and it fit in just like a glove. So what I'm going to do, obviously this is the wrong color here. I'm going to wash this and clean this up really good. And I'm going to put on some good vinyl paint on this thing to give it a nice color. Okay, so one thing I wanted to show you guys is this dash on the right, this black one. This is the one that came in the car, and it's actually broken in half. I just set the two pieces together so you all can see. But you can see that second half there is just completely broken off. When I bought the car, who had the car before me, I should say, they had paid somebody to rewire the car, and that person was trying to get the dash out and they broke it. So that's why I bought this Chevelle dash here. And here's a closer look for you all. I'm gonna get this cleaned up here and get to work on it. All right, I ran into the first issue already with this Chevelle dash. Take a look at the radio provisions there. You see everything's broken off there. And let me compare that with my dash. All right, now you can see my dash that there's no issues. The little pods there for the radio provisions are perfect. No, nothing's filed away or cut like the other dash. So I'm gonna have to figure something out. Okay, I'm looking at the heater box right now, and if you saw one of the other videos when I pulled it back down before I did the firewall insulation, this gasket was kind of not on correctly, and I basically trimmed it up to make it fit nice and snug. There's another thing also that I wanted to address since I pulled the heater box down, and I'm going to show you. If you see this air distribution duct that's there in the bottom of the heater box, this right here basically is for a bench seat car that does not have a console shifter. There's a special one for a console shifter. Now, I was told that the factory sometimes still shipped this one out even though you had a console shifter, whether that's true or not, but that's what somebody told me who knows a lot more than I do about Monte Carlos. So I actually picked one up, and let me show it to you. Now, if you notice this air distribution duct here, you can see that it's drastically different than what I just showed you all. This here is actually split. So this way it can distribute air on both sides of the console, where the other one, it was basically just blowing straight into the console. It did have like a little provision on each side, but this is pretty much what is suited for a console car, and this is what the factory had in mind. Again, I heard that some console cars still had the other one, but hey, why not, right? So I'm going to get this put on the heater box before I reinstall it. All right, and here is what the air deflector looks like for a console car installed. So everything went on pretty easy. Looks pretty good. It was just basically, I had to just basically punch for 2 holes on the left, right below that valve there, and I used 2 black screws, and it went in really easy. So I'm glad I made that change, and I'm glad and thankful for the guy who pointed it out, and you know who you are. Thank you very much. All right, so I learned a lesson with that dash. You know, actually I was thinking about it. I bought that dash like back around the COVID time. Bought it from a guy in San Diego, and I think I remember him telling me that the radio provisions were broken, but I didn't think nothing about it. I thought, well, you know what, I'll deal with that later. But I didn't realize how important that is, actually, if those things are broken. So I have been looking around for another dash, and I can't find one. So I reached out to Leo at Konix Classics, and Leo has a number of parts basically for Monte Carlos, and so he right now is looking for a dash for me. Of course he has several, but I asked, can you please find a nice one for me and ship it over. So so I'm hoping to have that dash by the next video I post. That dash should be in already, but you know, I'm thankful that I have a resource like that to. So I went over to H&S Body Works, and I had taken some pictures of the cowl area, and I showed them to the owner, and he was very gracious. He said, hey, you know, let's get the car in here. So we scheduled a day, and he brought a tow truck out, and they picked the car up. And by the next day, the car was ready, and they brought it back to me. Now that's a good shop right there. And they're a very busy shop. I mean, they do a lot of high-end show quality work for, you know, classic cars, you know, and different types of vehicles, like show quality stuff. So I was very appreciative and grateful that they were able to get me in really quick and get that addressed and taken care of. So let's take a look at it. Check that out. Looks pretty amazing. They even got this little edge piece that I was telling you about that had to be black as well on the end there. They did a really good job. I mean, man, they just knocked this thing out. So I'm good to go on here. You can see, obviously, it goes across here's the other side just to kind of give some perspective. But I mean, it turned out really good. So on an earlier video, I think I posted that I was working on this emergency brake pedal mechanism here. So I worked on getting this all cleaned up and got it all painted and ready to go. I found this switch. I was so glad. I didn't think that I had one, but I was going through my stuff and I found it. So, and it's in really good shape. I cleaned it up with the wire brush. You know, the little screw here was all rusted, but I was able to clean it up with the wire brush. Can't even tell. Yeah, it's ready to go. And you know, all ready. I've just got to put some grease on the mechanism on the inside here, and I'm going to get this installed. And then I got to get this connected right here to the actual emergency brake cable. So I'll be working on that today. Also, the gas pedal, this is a little provision. You know, you can see I cleaned it up. It looks all nice and pretty. The gas pedal, I don't know what you call it, but it mounts right here. And there's a little bracket. Here it is. This little bracket mounts here, and that's how it goes. So I'm going to be working on this today as well. I got this all primed and painted. You know, it cleaned up really good. You know, all of this did. You know, it had a lot of these had a lot of, you know, just minor surface rust all over it. You know, just because of the age. But you would be surprised, you know, how good a wire brush works. Or if you know, just have a little wire wheel, you know, that you could put on a you know, cordless drill or you know, a power drill. These things work wonders. Working on the getting the brake here taken care of. You know, again, you can see on the back here, it has a lot of surface rust on it. I really wish I had a media blast box because I would love to just blast it real quick, but I got to do it all by hand. You know, I got to get this stuff done, you know, before I get the wire harness put in and all that. At least emergency brake, I want to get that put in first. And then, you know, we'll see. I might actually end up installing this after the dash and the wire harness. I'm not sure yet. I'm going to kind of mock it up and then kind of see the order, because I don't want anything to be in my way when I'm wiring up the dash. So that's, you know, one thing that I was thinking about. And not only that, I still have to run the wiring back to the tail lights and everything too. So I'm going to get to work on that right now. I'm using these wipes that I got from Eastwood to kind of clean this wire channel. I'm going to go ahead and get everything prepped to run the wiring to the back of the car. Using a razor blade too to kind of get some of the excess insulation off and some of the glue, just, you know, just minor stuff. But this thing is going to take pretty much, you know, a lot of stuff off basically to clean the surface. I got this channel all cleaned out, stripped out I should say. I cleaned it really good on both sides. Pulled the old wire harness out, and I'm just, you know, again, getting one of these wipes from Eastwood to clean the inside of this thing to make sure everything is really nice and clean. And then I'll pull the new wire through it or stick it in there, whichever is going to be the easiest. All right, I got the wire all tucked into the channel, and you can see that I wrapped it there as well. And what I ended up doing is on the connection there on the top, see if I can get the camera there, I have it wire tied and basically fastened to a provision there on top to kind of keep it all in place so it looks all nice and neat, wrapped up, going into the channel there. And so far so good. The next step basically on this is I need to go ahead and continue taking the wiring to the back, to the tail lights, and get those wired up. So just wanted to kind of show you guys where I left off. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned.